Today we're going through 10 money statistics that reveal exactly where the average American stands financially. Some of these will confirm what you already suspected, others are going to surprise you. Understanding these statistics is the key to avoiding the costly financial traps that stall your progress toward financial freedom. Let's get into it. According to Ramsey Solutions, 37% of Americans currently carry more credit card debt than they have in retirement savings. That's more than 90 million adults. And we're not even counting auto loans or student debt, just credit cards versus retirement accounts. This matters for one reason above all others. Credit card debt costs you 22% a year to carry. Retirement savings, invested in the market, grow at roughly 8 to 10% a year on average. When your high-interest debt outweighs your compounding assets, you're mathematically moving backward, even if your paycheck is growing. The first move is to understand which side of that equation you're on. If it's the wrong side, the answer isn't panic, it's prioritization. Attack the high-interest debt first, then redirect those payments toward the future. Did you know more than half of Americans cannot cover a $1,000 emergency without going into debt? And among Gen Z specifically, nearly 1 in 3 has no emergency savings at all. Not a small fund. Nothing. An emergency fund isn't about being pessimistic. It's about understanding that life is unpredictable, and that when something goes wrong, the people with no cushion are forced to make the worst financial decisions at the worst possible moment. A job loss becomes credit card debt. A car repair becomes a payday loan. Start small if you have to. $500 is a meaningful buffer. $1,000 is a foundation. 3 to 6 months of expenses is the goal. But you get there one step at a time, in a separate account you don't touch unless it's a genuine emergency. Oh, and don't forget to keep your emergency fund in a high-yield savings account to rack up that interest for yourself. Since we're on the topic of high-yield savings accounts, more than 80% of Americans don't use a high-yield savings account. There are trillions of dollars sitting in traditional savings accounts right now, earning almost nothing, and most people have no idea how much that's costing them. That's not a huge number on its own, but multiply it across every year and across a larger balance, and it adds up to thousands of dollars left on the table over time. For doing absolutely nothing differently, the key fix is simple. Any savings with a specific goal attached to it, your emergency fund, a vacation, a future down payment, should be sitting in a high-yield account. Your money should be working while you sleep. If it's not, that's a passive choice that's costing you. Nearly 1 in 3 car trade-ins in 2025 are underwater. That means the person trading in their car owes more on the loan than the car is actually worth. The average gap? About $6,458 in negative equity. That's going to hurt your net worth. Here's how this happens. Someone buys a car, maybe during a period when prices were high, finances it over 6 or 7 years, and the car depreciates faster than the loan balance drops. By the time they want to trade it in, they're stuck. The debt follows them into their next purchase. What's the fix to avoid this from happening to you? Buy a used car. Ideally, a car that's 3 to 5 years old, so the steepest depreciation has already happened. And use the 24-10 rule as your guardrail. 20% down, paid off in 4 years, and your monthly payment shouldn't exceed 10% of what you make. Now, I'm not suggesting you should never buy a new car. Perhaps that's a landmark goal for you. One day, you'll be able to drive a new Corvette off the lot without a second thought, but only after you've engineered the systems to pay for it. When you can afford 10 Corvettes while your emergency fund, retirement portfolio, and investments remain untouched, you haven't just bought a car, you've earned the right to enjoy it. The average Social Security retirement benefit in 2026 is about $1,976 per month. That's roughly $23,700 a year. The question worth asking, could you live on that? For most people, the answer is no. Not comfortably, and not without other income sources. 78% of current retirees rely on Social Security as a meaningful income source, but the program was designed to supplement retirement income, not replace it entirely. And with the Social Security Trust Fund projected to face a shortfall by 2033 or 2034, the future of full benefits is genuinely uncertain. Treat Social Security as a bonus layer on top of your own savings, not the foundation. The people who retire comfortably are the ones who built their own foundation first, and let Social Security be the cushion. Historically, the stock market has doubled roughly every 10 years. That holds through the 2008 financial crisis, the pandemic, multiple recessions, and every other shock the past century has produced. On an annualized basis, that's an average return of around 8 to 10%. But there's a stat inside this stat that most people miss. If you had invested in the S&P 500 over the last 30 years but missed just the 10 best days in the market, 10 days out of more than 7,500, you would have lost 54% of your total gains. Miss 20 days, and you lose 73%. Those 10 days don't announce themselves. They often happen in the middle of a downturn, when the instinct is to get out and wait for stability. The people who got out and waited missed them. The people who stayed invested got them. Staying in the market through the discomfort is where the long-term return actually lives. The average American spends $1,080 a year on subscription services. That's about $90 a month. But here's the more revealing number. When people in the same survey were asked to estimate what they spend on subscriptions monthly, they said about $17. More than $200 a year less than what they're actually paying. Subscriptions are designed to be invisible. They process quietly in the background, rarely large enough in any single charge to trigger a reaction. But stacked together, they add up to over $1,000 a year for the average household, much of it on services that aren't being actively used. Do a sweep once or twice a year. Open your bank and credit card statements and look for every recurring charge. Cancel anything you haven't used in 30 days. Then decide, deliberately, which ones earn their spot back. It takes 20 minutes and often saves hundreds. In 1991, the median age of a first-time home buyer in the United States was 28. Today, it's 38. That's a full decade shift in one generation. And it's not because people stopped wanting to own homes. According to Redfin, the typical buyer today needs to earn around $112,000 a year to afford the median-priced home. The typical household earns about $25,000 less than that. Affordability hasn't just gotten harder. It's gotten structurally harder, in a way that wasn't true 10 or 15 years ago. So, what does this mean for you? A few things. If you're renting right now and feeling behind, you're not. Renting is sometimes the financially correct move, especially if it lets you invest the difference. If you are ready to buy, plan to stay at least 7 to 10 years and make sure you fully accounted for the costs that don't show up in the mortgage payment. Property taxes, insurance, maintenance, repairs. According to research from the National Foundation for Credit Counseling, only 42% of Americans actively track their income and expenses. That means more than half are navigating their financial lives without a clear picture of where the money is actually going. Here's what the data also shows. People who track their spending consistently have higher savings rates, lower debt, and report more confidence about their financial situation. The act of measuring changes behavior. You can't course correct what you can't see. You don't need a complex system. A spreadsheet, a notes app, or any budgeting tool works. The goal isn't to account for every dollar perfectly. It's to have a general, honest read on where your money is going each month. That awareness alone tends to shift behavior. 40% of Americans have nothing saved for retirement. Not a small amount, nothing. And among those who do have something, the median 401k balance across all working-age Americans is roughly $35,000. Financial planners suggest having at least 1 year's salary saved by age 30. Most people are well behind that benchmark at every stage. These numbers sound intimidating. That's not the point of showing them. The point is that the gap between where most people are and where they need to be is bridgeable. But only if you start. Every year you wait costs you more than the year before, because compounding needs time to do its job. If you have access to a 401k with an employer match and you're not contributing at least enough to get the full match, you are leaving free money on the table. That match is an instant 50 to 100% return on your contribution. Nothing else in finance comes close. To sit in the top 10% of American wealth in 2025, your net worth needs to exceed roughly $1.06 million. In 2022, that threshold was around $970,000. So it's moved up. And it will keep moving. What's important to understand here is that net worth and income are not the same thing. You can earn a top 10% salary and have a bottom half net worth if your habits don't support wealth accumulation. On the flip side, a moderate income with strong saving and investing behavior can absolutely reach 7 figures over a long enough time horizon. If you're not tracking your net worth yet, start. Even if the number is small or negative, awareness is the first step. You can't build toward a target you never measure. And those are the 10 finance stats that could change how you look at your money. Which one did you find the most useful? Let me know in the comments below. Hit subscribe for more stories about building real wealth. See you next time.